Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are doing a bit of a troubleshooting or like a need to know video, and we are talking about BB cream underneath your Seint makeup. It's trending all over Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, and I'm getting lots of questions, so today we're gonna cover it all. So if you're somebody that's having issues now that you've started to put a BB cream under your Seint IIID Foundation, this video might really help you. Or if you're thinking of making the buying decision to grab one to try underneath, here's some things that might benefit you before you jump in. So if this sounds interesting to you, I would love for you to watch today's video. As always, please like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. And thanks for being here. Let's dive right in. All right, so now that BB cream under Seint makeup is becoming a thing on the socials, I'm getting lots of questions from people that have tried it, from people that are thinking about trying it, and I figured let's put together one video where you can have all of the information. Before we dig into kind of the three things that I see have been causing some issues with BB cream underneath your Seint makeup, I want to say this. This is not an anti-BB cream video. I love BB cream. I have one. I wear it on occasion. I partner with a company who sells a BB cream, but you've never seen me use it underneath the makeup because issue number one, and what most people are chatting with me about in DMs, is why is my makeup sliding? Why is it moving? And up to this point, pretty much every BB cream on the market is silicone based, and silicone is the ingredient that we recommend that our Seint users don't put products on that are silicone based underneath the makeup. Silicone is basically like a slip and slide agent. It's meant to, you'll see it in a lot of like pore filling primers. It's meant to make your skin feel soft and smooth. And while all of that is awesome, and there is nothing wrong with silicone, inherently, it's not a bad ingredient. When you're using a cream-based foundation that doesn't dry, it's already emollient. It's already creamy. So when you're adding a creamy product onto something that has slippage to it, it causes your makeup to slide. Like a slip and slide. You hit that water pool and everything goes sliding. It's the same basic effect with Seint makeup. With liquid and powder, those products dry down on the skin. So they start to lose their water, you're left with pigment, and then that barrier is what keeps it from looking as cakey or as textured as it would if you weren't wearing that. So it's very common for products to have silicone. Moisturizers, sunscreens, primers, like it's so common, it's almost really hard to find products that don't have silicone in them anymore. And that's the number one issue that people are seeing is they're adding a BB cream underneath their Seint makeup because they're seeing artists do that. BB cream just kind of evens out your skin tone. So they're trying to keep it as fast as possible without really teaching color correction. I understand the concept and it makes perfect sense. In theory, I would still say there's still some coverage lacking, and I'll show you that here a little bit on my own, but just know that unless your BB cream is water-based, which up to this point, I haven't been able to find any, except now there's one, and I can't get my hands on it yet. We'll talk about that in a minute. But if you use any product, including a BB cream that has silicones in it, and you feel like your makeup is now moving and you weren't having that issue before, it's the BB cream. So that's number one. Number two, it changes the general color of your face. Like it is evening out your skin tone, changing the tone that we as artists match you to. Let me show you what I mean. So I grabbed a couple of different products. So this is Glow Screen Sunscreen by Supergoop. And this is one of the sunscreens that is fine underneath our makeup. And I want to show you this because it has a slight tint to it. So this is the way that BB cream was originally formulated. The formulations of BB cream have changed from basically these very, very, very sheer skin tints that I wouldn't say really add coverage, but they added just a little bit of warmth in the skin. And this one in particular adds a little bit of shimmer. Again, this is a sunscreen, but this is how BB creams used to be formulated. So it really wouldn't be that big of a deal under your Seint makeup, right? Overall, my skin tone looks pretty similar. It just looks a little bit more, I wouldn't even call it like shimmery. It just has a little bit of iridescent. It's for the lovers of the glow, right? So this is what BB cream used to look like. It has changed. And now it is very, very common for BB cream to look more like a light layer of foundation. It was not originally created, see the difference? was not originally created. Let me put a little bit of this right next to it. To be, see, it wasn't created to be a foundation. It's fine that it is. Like, it's not a matter of like BB cream being right or wrong. They're different products and they serve different purposes. I just want you to see the difference in what your skin tone is gonna look like after you put a BB cream on your face. And I will show you, this is the correct BB cream for my face. Like, as I said, I sell this BB cream. Like, I have the resources to color match people to this. So I know that this is the closest one to my skin tone. But I wanted to show you the difference between using something like this, which is going to be the glow screen, sunscreen, which is how BB cream pretty much used to look, just a little bit of a sheer light layer that would even the skin out a little bit, to something like this, which is now going to change the actual tone of the skin. And imagine if you're getting a color match, okay? And you send me this makeup-free selfie. I'm facing a naturally lit window. You can see all the things, right? So I'm gonna color match you, and I'm gonna look for a couple things. The deepest, darkest points of your skin so that I can get you color corrected. Then what is the most natural skin tone here? And like for me, that's this area here and here, where my deepest, darkest points are like here. And then I'm looking at your undertones to help with a brightener, which is essentially that concealer that goes into the center of the face and underneath the eyes in order to brighten the face. So that's what I'm looking for. Do you see how adding this to the skin is gonna change what that color match would have looked like? So you get match like this, then you add what is essentially a light, but a light layer of foundation all over, and then you put the same colors from your match on top of that, and now your colors look off. So the issues that I hear are my makeup's moving, my colors seem off, and then texture. I feel like I have increased texture. Should I have increased texture with a BB cream? And my theory on that is anytime you add layers to the skin, particularly with something of a pigment, it's not abnormal to get more texture. That's why when we teach like the most minimal texture for under eyes or demi for under eyes, it's all about keeping your layers as thin as possible if you even need to layer at all, and being sure to remove all excess with your perfector. It's not abnormal when you're adding a layer of pigment to your skin that is going to dry onto the skin to have increased texture when you then layer your Seint IIID foundation on top of that. So in areas where you would want to decrease your texture, areas where you have fine lines and wrinkles, active acne, acne scarring, dry skin, if you're noticing that those areas look like you have enhanced texture or your pores are looking larger, that really is probably the byproduct of adding an entire layer of pigment, essentially a layer of makeup, under your 3D foundation, which is meant to be in as close to one layer as possible to begin with. That's kind of the magic of the cream foundation. So in my experience, talking with clients, troubleshooting with clients, the three common things that we're seeing is silicones, changing your colors so now your 3D foundation looks off, or people are having increased texture. So as you're thinking about, okay, do I want to pick up a BB cream and try this? First of all, it's just makeup. You want to give it a whirl? Give it a whirl. But just know that those are things that people are commonly experiencing. And if you've tried the technique and you're experiencing any of those things and you haven't been able to figure out why, it probably is a matter of the BB cream that you added underneath. All right, so let's do a little bit of this so that you guys can see why people are recommending it from the beginning, or if you haven't been doing it, you know, kind of what the difference is. So I'm just gonna apply a light layer, and we'll use all of this and spread this across, of BB cream to one side of my face. And you will see how BB cream in general kind of nicely evens out your skin tone. So a lot of people are showing this really because I think it's just the ease of not having to show color correction as much. And because I think in general, everyone is interested in what is the quickest way, right? Like everybody wants to show the quickest way to get your makeup done. And as a consumer, you want to be able to do your makeup fast. So, you know, people have been partnering with different companies selling different BB creams as an alternative to color correction. They don't necessarily talk about it that way, but ultimately that's what they're doing, is they're using it as an alternative to color correction. So if you're doing it and you're loving it, rock on. I would love to know what actual BB cream you're using. If you're not doing it, this is just an FYI, kind of like a what you would want to know before you kind of headed down that road. If you were to ask me, should I invest in a BB cream? Like, is it better than color correction? I do not personally think it's better than color correction. I'm a lover of, I just want to spot treat and put color correction where it's needed, because here's the thing. This color is now all over, okay? So you can see this is not the same as this. You see how much warmer this part of my face is here than this part? And like, this is legitimately the closest color. Like, this is my color of this BB cream. And again, it's not bad. I would just pull a little bronzer down my neck and everything would match. But my point is, if you put this warmth everywhere, does it even out the skin? Yes, it looks more even than this. Does it color correct the deepest, darkest points to my level of satisfaction? No, it doesn't. It just equally puts product everywhere, so it can't target any one area more than another area. It's the same reason why when people are using their 3D foundation and they put their main highlight shade all over, it generally evens out the skin tone. It just doesn't even out everything equally because I still have deeper points on my face. It's literally no different with the BB cream. I could put one layer of my 3D foundation all over my face and I would even out my skin, but I would still have some interest in color correcting the darkness under my eyes, the acne scarring that I have, and some of this hyperpigmentation right here. And when I do that, let me show you. Where's my brush? When I do that, you're gonna see that my colors are a little off now. Do you see how when I go to color correct, how light that is? So this is where I would normally color correct on that darkness, that area that I have milia. So it's already a textured area. But now it is definitely increasing the look of texture because now my color corrector isn't correct. I've changed the tone of my face, where on this side, if I were to go in with that same color corrector and just tap onto that darkness, it's not light like that. I'm putting it directly onto the deepest, darkest points of discoloration. And it's still, now it's gonna do its job. Its job is to color correct the depth of color, the deepest, darkest points of color that I have on the face. On this side, it's going to increase the look of texture. On this side, it's not, because I don't have a product underneath. This is the correct color for my color correction needs. Now, could I change my color corrector over here? Sure, I could probably play with it, no problem. But as a Seint artist, I own every shade. If you don't own every shade of makeup, it's not as easy for you to like self-correct your makeup, because you can't go into another shade and be like, oh, okay, well, I'll just try that next darker shade and see how that works on correcting that area. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you only own what you own from your color match. And when you change the tone of your face, you run up against, does that mess up my colors? And it may not for everybody. These are just the things to look for. But here are some things that I would say are worth considering. There is a BB cream that's coming onto the market from Xoxo. It's on the market right now. However, it sells out every time it's in stock. So they released it. It's water-based. It sold out like immediately. And one of the women on my team was telling me about it. She's like, it just came out again. I went on, it was gone already. So she got her hands on it. She is trying it. And because it's water-based, we're not going to have the silicone issue. So then it would just be, how heavy of an actual formulation is it? Is it thin enough that it works really well? Because like the glow screen does not change the color of my makeup over top. Like, I can wear the glow screen, or I can wear like this illuminating primer that also has some shimmer to it right here. And it's not like glitter, but just that little bit of like shimmer. So it's similar to what you see with glow screen. This one's a primer for all the ladies that love the glow, but it doesn't have this pigmentation that you will. So I'm curious to see what the Kosas brand looks like, because if it's water-based, hey, that's step number one. And if it doesn't have as much pigmentation as like a liquid foundation does, that is awesome. And then we can kind of go from there and see if that's one that we could recommend. Does it work well enough that you don't need to color correct? Can you do less color correction? I'll let you know. I'll report back. But let me share with you while we're here. If I was going to use a BB cream under my makeup and it was silicone based, there are still some things that you could do that are generally going to be absolutely fine. Stick to your sheer products. So color corrector, main highlight shade, contour, brightener. Those are all coverage products. Stick to bronzer, illuminator, lip and cheek, anything like that. It's not a coverage product. So if it moves around a little bit, it's already sheer to begin with. It's really no big deal. So you could easily add a little bit of bronzer over top. If you wanted a beach day, for example, if you're somebody who's like, yeah, just give me a BB cream for the beach, you could still do a little bit of bronzer and it would have like minimal effect. It would be totally fine. You could grab a lip and cheek. Again, lip and cheeks do not have coverage. They're not formulated for coverage. And you could even add a little bit of your illuminator if you wanted even more glow to that top part of your cheekbone, down the center of the nose, any of the places that you wanted. So you could still use a BB cream and not worry about the slipping and sliding. If you wanted to just put your bronzer, your lip and cheek, and your illuminator, just know that your coverage then is simply just whatever coverage you get from your actual BB cream. If you wanted to try some like demi color correction under the eyes, because it's very, very specific and it's an even drier texture, so its chances of moving are even less, you can do that too. I just wanted to put together this video because it's the common questions that I'm asking and a lot of the troubles that people are having that they weren't having before that they didn't recognize were likely related to the BB cream. So I figured, well, let's just get it all out there in one quick and concise video. So if you found this helpful, please let me know. And if you do get your hands on the Kosas, I need to know. Did it work for you? Do you need help with a color match for it? Do you need a general 3D foundation color match? Because I'm your girl. As always, thank you guys for being here, and we will talk again next week.